Hi, everyone. Welcome back to Exploring Nonviolent Communication. Today, we're discussing Chapter 4 of Marshall Rosenberg's book, Nonviolent Communication, A Language of Life. This chapter is titled Identifying and Expressing Feelings. Let's jump right in, Alex. What stood out to you the most about this chapter?
This chapter really hit home for me. Rosenberg talks about the heavy cost of unexpressed feelings. He gives personal anecdotes that illustrate how suppressing our emotions can lead to a lot of internal conflict and misunderstandings. One powerful example is his story about hiding from boys who wanted to beat him up and a teacher telling him, "Big boys don't get frightened." It's such a stark reminder of how we are often discouraged from expressing our true feelings.
Absolutely. That story was quite impactful. It shows how early in life we're conditioned to suppress our emotions. Rosenberg emphasizes that having a limited vocabulary for emotions restricts our ability to express ourselves and connect with others. He even cites psychoanalyst Rollo May, who suggests that mature individuals can differentiate their feelings as precisely as different notes in a symphony.
That's a great analogy. It highlights how nuanced our emotional experiences can be. Another important point Rosenberg makes is distinguishing between feelings and non-feelings. He explains that our language often confuses thoughts with feelings. For example, saying, "I feel that you should know better," isn't expressing a feeling. It's conveying a thought or judgment.
Right? And that distinction is crucial for effective communication. By clearly identifying our feelings, we can communicate more authentically. Rosenberg also introduces the idea of building a vocabulary for feelings. He provides lists of words that help articulate a wide range of emotions, which is incredibly useful. What are some ways you think people can start practicing this in their daily lives?
One practical way is to take a moment to pause and reflect on your feelings before responding in a conversation. Instead of reacting impulsively, try to identify the specific emotion you're experiencing. It could be something as simple as saying, "I feel frustrated," rather than, "You're being annoying." This shift not only clarifies your emotional state, but also opens up a dialogue for deeper understanding.
That's a good tip. I also think journaling can be helpful. Writing down your feelings can make you more aware of your emotional landscape. Rosenberg also talks about the importance of expressing feelings without blaming others. For instance, instead of saying, "You make me angry," we can say, "I feel angry because I need more cooperation." This approach focuses on our own feelings and needs rather than attributing them to someone else's behavior.
Exactly, it's about taking responsibility for our emotions. Rosenberg provides an exercise in the book where he asks readers to identify whether statements express feelings or non-feelings. It's a practical way to hone this skill. Let's try one of these exercises. How about the statement, "I feel neglected"?
According to Rosenberg, neglected isn't a true feeling. It's more of an interpretation of someone else's actions. A more accurate expression of the underlying feeling might be, "I feel lonely" or "I feel hurt." This clarity can significantly improve how we communicate and understand each other.
That makes sense. It's a subtle but important distinction. By identifying the true feelings behind our interpretations, we can communicate more honestly and empathetically. Another powerful point in this chapter is the impact of expressing our vulnerability. Rosenberg shares a story about a hospital administrator who, instead of maintaining a facade of confidence, expressed his fear to a group of physicians. This honesty led to a surprisingly positive outcome.
Yes, that story was quite inspiring. It shows that vulnerability can foster trust and openness. When we are honest about our feelings, it encourages others to be more understanding and compassionate. This is especially important in professional settings, where we often feel the need to hide our emotions.
Absolutely. Vulnerability can be a strength, not a weakness. To summarize, Chapter 4 of Rosenberg's book emphasizes the importance of identifying and expressing our true feelings. It encourages us to develop a richer emotional vocabulary and to express our emotions in a way that fosters connection rather than conflict.
Well said. I hope our listeners find these insights helpful and start incorporating them into their own lives. Thank you all for joining us today. Stay tuned for our next episode, where we'll explore Chapter 5 of Rosenberg's Nonviolent Communication, A Language of Life. Until next time, keep communicating with compassion.
Thanks, everyone. See you next time.